Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Girl Get Up podcast with your host, the Aquarian Chancellor, where I share my personal story, my ups and downs, the good and the bad, the ugly, all of that good stuff, in hopes to inspire you to go out and pursue your infinite dreams and your infinite potential and your infinite possibilities. I am the creator of the Infinite Dreamers program based off my career strategies for success guidebook and my career strategies for the Infinite Dreamer. Together, they are the foundation of my workforce curriculum designed for youth ages 16 to 25. So if you're interested in the curriculum, the Infinite Dreamers program, any of the workbooks, go to my website, www.yourinfinitedirection.com. I also have my personal development tools, my daily dose deck, and my career formations deck. So if you're interested in any of those, also go to my website. Okay, so today we are here for part two of my interview with Miss Lisa, and we're talking about sisterhood, female friendships, and building long-lasting bonds. So we're gonna pick up where we left off last week, where we're talking about friendships and putting out the energy that you hope to receive back. And that said, you are the co-host of Sister Circle Saturday. So would
Yes.
you talk about that experience and how the women that you all have built a community around friendship and bonds and sisterhood? So you want to,
hmm
I'll open up the floor. You want to talk about Sister Circle?
Okay, yeah. So as you said, I am the co-host of Sister Circle Saturdays, and that is a weekly program for the NC Ministries. That's Nina Crump Ministries at Nina Crump NCM Ministry NCM Nina Crump Ministries.org. And it is an organization for women's empowerment and encouragement. And so when she told me she was starting that organization, I said that's right up my alley. Sign me up. And then we started doing the Sister Circle Saturdays, as I said, which is every Saturday. And if you have people who on your show who want to come on, every week we have a different queen to host the show. We let them talk about whatever is on their minds, whatever they're passionate about. We give them a platform to talk about their business, to talk about their life experience, as long as it's uplifting and inspirational, no holds barred, in a transparent, safe, supportive environment. And
Mm.
I'm very excited to be a part of that because so many women's lives are touched. People email us all the time. I mean, on an average, we have 300 to 400 views a week,
Oh,
um, on,
wow, that's
on the average.
awesome.
Yeah, that's on the average. So it's exciting. It really is exciting to be. And since I have been with that group of women, it's just new sisters, new sisterhood. And again, all of the people that I am in contact with from this group, everybody is, you said something, a high vibration, and everybody is vibrating at that level, it seems. And the people who are drawn into the relationship, if they're not at that level, when they get there, they start inching up. It's like the energy surrounds and encompasses and takes over. And
Mm.
I truly believe that's the way it goes. Really, if you open up yourself up to good things, then good things will come your way.
Yeah, we talked about that last time when we are talking about that spiritual piggy bank, so to speak, about good deeds and
Mm-hmm.
karma and everything like that, where you, like you said, that energy that you put out as far as friendships,
Yeah.
how do you want your friends to treat you? How do you want the people in your life to treat you? And you have to be that example in
Yes.
order for you to bring in those same type of relationships. Do you think that that is a major challenge in maintaining connection?
Mm, yes, I think it is. I mean, again, the communication part is the key to everything. like eating what and making new friends. Like recently, in making new friends, people say, "Oh, it's difficult to make new friends." Well, when you get to be a certain age or whatever, but it's like again, the people in this organization, I've only known them for 2 years, and I feel like I have known them my entire life. And then the people who are coming in, I mean, it's the same, but I guess that's like in the Bible when it says people who are equally yoked. I don't think that's just for marriage. I think that's just across the board. If you are on a vibrating at a certain level, again, people are drawn to you. And very quickly, if someone meets you and they're not feeling your energy or you're not feeling their energy, we never get to the place where develops into a friendship.
Look, I'm over here. I'm like, because I did. I don't know if you've been watching I have a segment on this platform where I talk about my personal experiences growing through the different stages of womanhood. It's called the maiden, the mother, and the crone.
Oh,
Talking
okay.
about my influences from my mom and my grandma and how it impacted my life and the things that I saw, right? So I recently recorded a segment about community, but
Okay.
that's been really heavy in my experience. And I haven't posted it yet, but it's coming. But in that series, I made a statement just about that very thing. And the question was, have you ever, let's just say you are at a work function and somebody brings in a cousin or something like that, that's not a part of the work environment. Have you ever experienced somebody say, oh, her, and they don't even know that person. They don't take opportunity to get to know people. It's just maybe appearance or you know what I'm saying, like that. So it's my reasoning for bringing that up is allowing people the space to be themselves and show who they are without making immediate judgments of people.
Right. Right.
And so that's one of the challenges that I have noticed with being in new environments. Are we allowing ourselves to be open to sharing space with people that we don't know?
Right, right. And that's the thing. I think so many of us have been hurt so often by the relationships, the sister relationships, that we are afraid to open up. Or, it's like, okay, I don't need no new friends. No, somebody got a song about it. No new friends.
Yeah.
It's like, but you also don't grow. I think
Yeah.
about all of the new people that I met and all of the information and the knowledge and the love that I have gained from the new people. So again, it's just being open to new situations and
Yeah.
try not to judge anyone, because I mean that's the thing. It's like, okay, you just met the person. You don't even know enough to like them or dislike them
Right.
just by them walking in the room. I mean, what, you don't like what they have on? You don't like their confidence. You don't like, so what is it about them? You feel self-conscious and they're bold and walking boldly in their confidence, and that makes you feel some type of way, so you reject them. So again, it's really, and my daughter said this to me today, it's really about a lot of self-reflection. And
Yeah.
that is something that I have really learned to do, and I am learning to do it. It's funny. I'm just going a little story, because now I'm in a place in my business where I'm ready to hire an assistant. And so one of my girlfriends, and she's a new friend. I told my husband and my daughter, I was like, oh, well, I think I'm gonna, hire this person to come and be my assistant. And both of them said, no, I don't think that's gonna work out. And I said, well, why would you say that? And they said, because when you're in business, you are so intense. And they're like, I would hate for that to mess up your relationship, your friendship. So I was like, okay, doing some self-reflection. And it's like, whoo, they are absolutely right. because it's not about money for me, but it's like, okay, and some of the things that I do in my business, we're talking about people's actual lives. So I don't play with that. When it's business time, it's business time. So I realized that I can get kind of intense. And so I said this to my friend, and I told him, I said, my husband and my daughter said that we shouldn't try this. And she was like, well, why? I said, because I can go from 0 to 1,000 real quick. And I know that about myself, and I am working on it. And so she said, well, that's okay. She said, I'm willing to try it, because as long as we are open and honest with each other and don't take anything personally, then we'll be fine. And I said, that's the key. So if I go from 0 to 1,000, and you say, wait a minute, Lisa, I know this is important, but bring it down. So this is what we need to do to bring it down. That's all in communication.
Yeah.
And being able to, if we weren't friends, I wouldn't trust her anyway. So trusting that, okay, she's saying this, there is some validity to it. Pull yourself out of it for a minute and look at it from the other person's perspective. And then that's another thing. It's like, because sometimes we get so offended by things people do, and people are really going through. And sometimes the thing didn't even have anything to do with us, but we just so happen to be on the other end. So instead of talking to the person and say, look, you know what? When you said that, that really hurt my feelings. Or when you said that, that really pissed me off. Or whatever. We just ghost people, and that's it. I definitely don't believe in doing that. I believe in shutting doors. If we get to the place where we can no longer be friends and there's a reason, I want you to know why I feel we can't be friends anymore. I think that's only fair. Because if we have a conversation and then we both agree, but it's like, okay, well, I didn't like you that much either. So, okay, so we agree that this is not going to work. We're going to divorce each other as friends, irreconcilable differences, and move on.
You said irreconcilable differences. So this came up for me this week, not in a personal relationship, but in, I do my work myself. I do have my daily dose deck, and I use my own deck, and I use it for my journaling purposes and everything. And this had came up for me this week, and it was the phrase, as I am, so are you. And it came up in the context because off camera we were talking about how we've been, and one of the relationships with my kids that came up, and I had to put myself in those shoes again, realizing, okay, I was a teenager once, so so I had to see myself in him. Right. And then from that point, we were able to have a different type of conversation. My frustration level with him had kind of diminished, because I had to put myself back in my own 17-year-old shoes, and something that was 17-ish. But in friendships, I have an expectation of, because I am very open, I talk about a lot of things, and even in my friendship. And if I feel that I don't get that same thing, like the have you ever been in a relationship with somebody and you feel like you sharing everything, but then that person doesn't share anything with you, and you kind of like, well, is this equal? Is the yoke, are we equally yoked?
Equally yoked. Yeah.
So so certain things, I do look for, if I'm being open, I have an expectation for my friends to be open, because that way I know that you're comfortable with me. So receiving as well.
That's all in the dating process. When you meet you are dating them just like any other relationship. Relationships are relationships, so they follow the same patterns.
Yeah.
So if
you're withholding as a friend,
right?
Say myself, okay, if this was a man, or if this, how would I feel? Like, is the energy? Are we on equal footing. As I am, so are you. So if you're withholding and you're secretive, even as a friend, it's like, okay, that would give me a pause for the pause.
Right, right. So right. So then, I mean, and there's levels to this stuff. It's like, okay, we meet, we're not just automatically friends. It's like, okay, we date, and then we talk and we communicate and we go on some more dates and we do, and then we grow to where I'm gonna say, this is my sister friend. This is my sister friend. I don't
I
call
was
you my sister friend on date one.
I was just about to ask you, do you think that that's one of the tools to building long-lasting friendships? 'Cause remember, the end of this title is building lifelong bonds. Sharing is caring. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a
Yes,
level of trust. That's how you build
yes,
that level of trust. And I ain't saying you got to spill all the deepest, darkest
right,
secrets, but
right,
talk about your feelings and be real and authentic and genuine. That's how you build those long lasting bonds, not the surface stuff. We can
right.
all be surface.
Right. And so those people aren't called friends. Those are associates. Okay.
Mhm.
It's like, okay, that's somebody I know. But when
Right.
you cross over to you, this is actual my friendship, my friend, then it's sister friend.
Yeah.
Because then we really have deposited into each other.
Yeah, I love that. Depositing into each other. I love that. Yeah.
I mean, and
Hmm.
that's why with our relationship, I feel like we tell it all. We share it all. We know. I have been able to call you. You have been able to call me. We have consistency in our relationship. We have consistently shown up for each other
Yeah.
in our true, authentic selves, and I think that's how you build lifelong, long-lasting friendships, sisterhoods, friendships.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
That's it.
I know that you that told me some stuff I did not want to hear at the time, you know. And it's like, but it was real and it was true and it was honest,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's
Real
the thing,
true.
being able to tell each other the truth in love. And it's like we may not, just like with my husband and my daughter, they both said the same thing. And I was like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
That was pleasant to hear, but you're not wrong.
Right.
So it's like, all right, well, this is something that I definitely need to work on. But then they both said it. I mean, because in my relationships, it's like I have practiced, and through years of therapy, I have learned to be able to listen to people give me their feedback and not explode on them.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to listen because I understand that they are sharing this only for my benefit because they care about me and they want my relationships to be better. They didn't want me to lose my friendship because sometimes I can be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Right,
And
right,
so,
right. Yeah, well, George Club. Right?
yeah,
No.
I mean, and that's being honest. But
Right.
that has taken work. The old me would have been like, what do you mean? I
Right.
I would have just gone off in the moment on both of them. But just taking the time and doing the work to be like, okay, let me sit with this.
What does that
It's
look like sitting with this? What does that look like? Does it look like just internalizing what they're saying to you, or is actually putting techniques into practice to help you work through what they said that your issue
yes,
was?
all of the above. First of all, I have to take in what they said and then break it down, and then I go back and try to reference situations, and
Mm,
then I say, okay, oh well, they were absolutely right in that situation, or they were absolutely right in this situation, and then after doing much self reflection, that's the thing. It's like because a lot of not all the time is it the other person. So, and
yeah,
that's the thing. It's like, you got to hold that mirror up all the time and
yeah.
be honest about the reflection that's coming back. And that's where I think sometimes we have problems because
Hmm.
we of course we never want to believe it's us. We always want to believe that it's the other person. But if we are honest with ourselves, the relationships are half and half.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, yeah, I was a little crazy, and I admit that, and I receive your truth for me, and I'm going to use your truth to help me be a better person all the way around. And that is what true friendship, true relationships are to me.
Yeah, I believe we all have that one or two at the minimum of people that we allow to hold us accountable. Because I'm gonna tell you something, I'm gonna be really honest. It's certain people who cannot tell me certain stuff about myself, even if they right, because of the nature of the relationship. But then I do have people who can say, you know what, this, that, and the third, and I will listen. I think we all have that one or two people that can hold us accountable.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. It's like, and I tell people, I tell my friends all the time, don't have me out here in these streets looking crazy. I say it all the time. I'm trusting you to be my mirror in all areas and aspects of my life. So if I'm out here acting funky, I need you to tell me that.
Yeah.
If I'm out here and I look funky, I need you to tell me that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what? That's what a friend is supposed to do. A friend is supposed to hold you accountable. A friend is supposed to hold you to being your highest self.
Mm-hmm. If a friend doesn't call you on your stuff, what do? Does that shake the friendship? How do you address that? It's like, girl, why didn't you tell me or this, that, on the third? Or does that go back to so how do you address
well, again, by the time we finish all those dates and we are actually friends, my friends always call me on my stuff and that's why we are friends. And it's like, because they know good well, if I call you my friend, I'm gonna call you on your stuff as I see it. But it's always in love. I mean, only truth in love. And so, yeah, it's like, I don't want to be friends with somebody who doesn't feel like they can tell me the truth about me, even if it's an ugly truth.
Yeah.
Because that can be anybody in the world.
Yeah.
That you don't need a friend for that. So that's my opinion.
A friend, you just don't have to pay for it. It's free getting in your butt.
Exactly.
Versus going to therapy and got to pay a couple $100 for it.
Right. But again, it ain't free because you got all these dates, you have all these deposits, it's all investments.
Yeah.
And like it's about it's investments. Yeah. You invested time. You invested not only your time, but in trusting people, you invested your confidence. You invested your secrets.
Your space.
Exactly.
Even your family, we sharing time, we sharing space with one another. And it's important that you hold those things close. It's important that you hold those things close.
Exactly.
So this is the platform of believing in your infinite potential and believing in your infinite possibilities. Tell the audience, what is one thing that you've always dreamed or desired, and you're in that moment right now of going after? You're living in your infinite possibilities.
Okay, well, for as long as I can think of, I wrote a book in 2012.
Okay.
And I just sent it to an editor last week. Okay.
Look, I got to get some sound effects going on here. I know we talked about that. Okay.
Yes, and so I sent it out to someone who is all I know is going to be honest with me. It's like, okay, don't have me out here looking crazy. And so, I mean, and that's the thing. So I'm so excited about that. I'm hoping to have it to your person who's a publisher, hopefully, by the beginning of the year. But that's something that I have been. It's like, okay, girl, the copyright on this is 2012. You have to do better. So that's
okay. This platform is about getting it done. We not waiting. We getting out the comfort zone. We
That's it.
not, you know what I'm saying? We're living in we're not waiting for no more
Mm-mm.
trauma, drama, none of that. We're putting ourselves first,
That's it.
starting here today, now.
Yes. Yes. I just said this. I just said this to one of my friends just over the weekend. It's like no more fitting in. From this point forward, I'm standing
Ooh.
out. And even if I'm standing alone.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay?
You know what? I think everybody needs that season of that alone time. I think that's where your that growth happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, being able to pick up a phone, no matter where you are in your friendship, if you've made those deposits. And
Yes.
okay, it should be okay for you to take a month or 2 months to
Yeah.
just step away from friendships. And it's not that you don't love that person. It's for your own growth. And I feel like that's a major thing that should be allowed
Yeah.
in friendships, and it shouldn't be taken personally.
Yeah. But
Allowing your friends to grow.
communicating with the person. It's like, girl, I'm gonna need some time.
Mm.
For the next month, I'm not doing social media. I'm not answering text messages. Don't take it personal. It's not about you. It's only about me. Because if you don't communicate that, then of course, if you talk to somebody on a regular basis, then they start calling you and texting you and you don't respond, then they go into, oh my God, what did I do? And then think of all the energy that they waste when it doesn't
Mm.
really have anything to do with them. So for me, it's always trying to put yourself in the other person's shoes.
Other person's shoes. Well, that's that social justice coming out of you too, now.
Yes.
I
I just
told
like to
my
be
son that
fair.
the other day.
I really like to be fair. I try to be fair.
It's so funny because they had parent teacher conferences the other day, and I asked the teacher. I said, "Well, does he, I said, does he tat on it?" She said, "Well, oh, it's just like be Vegas. He's a Libra too. His birthday next week." And
Uh-huh.
I said, that's my little social justice advocate.
Yeah.
Even
That's
in the house, everything has to be fair.
that's the Libra. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm
So that's
sorry. That's who we
um,
are.
but that's awesome. So you have went ahead, finished your book, and you have pushed that process. How do you feel?
I feel really, really good. I really do feel good because it's like it's been finished. So I just don't know why I was holding on to it.
Oh,
It's
did
been,
you
yeah.
why do you think you've been holding on to it?
I have no idea. I have no idea. So I just got to the place where it's like, you know what? Even I don't know if it was, I'm thinking, is it good enough? I don't, you know what I mean? Or is
Mm-hmm.
it going to be received the way I intended? I think a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, maybe a little bit of self-doubt, maybe a whole lot of busyness because, in that time I was working day and night. So I didn't
Mm-hmm.
really have time to put into the book. And now since I, was sick and I'm home a lot more, I have time to just really sit down and devote to. And then one of my friends, I have a lot of good accountability people, and this really was a punch for me. And he said to me, think of all the people that are not being helped because you didn't put it out there.
Mm.
That really is like, okay.
I was going to say, do you think that if you would have put it out in 2012, would you added to it or contributed to it now? That do you think?
Yeah, I have much more to add to it. So it's
Yeah.
gonna be, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. And like it's like in everything in due season, in due
Mm-hmm.
time. So the
Mm-hmm.
person that I was in 2012 is not the person that I am now. So I
Mm-hmm.
may feel like now I can really be out there and be my authentic self and be, it's like, okay, if someone doesn't accept it, I can be okay with that now. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
then my feelings would have been hurt and I would have said, oh, they just dumb, they don't understand, they didn't understand the book. But now but I have grown, and I know that different people like different things, different strokes for different folks, and so I think now it really was the time. I feel like now was the time to do it.
I think so too. Everything happens right when it's supposed to. That secret sauce that you have now, you didn't have then. So yeah, that's awesome. So what are some inspiring words, maybe some words that you've given to yourself that you would share for the other infinite dreamers, such as myself, such as the audience who listens to this podcast? What words would you give them?
Okay, so this is how I live my life now and what I do with everything. I always say, what's the worst that can happen? Put it out there. Do it. What is the worst that can happen? Okay? No matter what it is. It's like, okay, I put this book out, people don't like it. Okay, I accomplished the goal that I set out for. If that's the only outcome, so be it. That's good. I'm not putting it out there to make $1 million. So that's it. No matter what it is, do it, because what is the worst thing that can happen?
Right.
It's like the worst thing that can happen. Okay, you put out a book and 10 people buy it. But the best thing, the possible thing, so maybe you put out a book and it becomes on the bestseller list. But it'll never happen. You won't know which category unless you put the book out. So
my odds of trying beats my odds of not doing anything at all. Staying in that comfort zone, being afraid. What people gonna say? What people gonna think? I said that last week in the other episode. When the thing is, when you put your face on a platform, whether it's a book, whether it's podcast, whether it's a video, and you're always, before you do it, you always have that level of anxiety, like, oh my God, how am I going to feel? What's going to happen? And my thing, if you live by that fear mechanism,
yes, that's it.
You'll never do anything. You'll stay living that, and not to say people's lives aren't meaningful, as they are, right?
Yeah. But
just that extra sparkle, that extra thing to say, okay, even let's say my workbooks don't do any, to give it something to my kids, to say, okay, this is something that belongs to the family. Do something with, take it to the next level.
Right. And the thing that I have really started, and after I sent the book to the editor and everything, this is what I'm doing now, because especially with social media and all that other stuff, I say to myself, no matter what it is, if it serves one person, then that's enough. So, I send out weekly videos, or I send out weekly text messages, and people, they don't respond or whatever. But somebody will text me and say, I needed this today. You just don't know how desperately I needed this. This came right on time. And I always say that, well, there's the one, Lord. There's the one. And that's all I need. So don't go after the one. Forget the 99. That's my new thing. If one person receives it, and you're the one person, you're gonna be happy that you put it out. So you already got one.
And then you never know, that one go out and affect another one, and it's a ripple effect.
Exactly.
It's a ripple effect, and we all need it.
Yes.
We all need it. So,
absolutely.
Thank you for being my guest today. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. Any of my platforms, if you guys listen to the podcast and you are not familiar with Miss Lisa's interview she did on my YouTube platform, Health is Wealth, please go over and listen to that interview. That's one of the highest grossing interviews that I have on that channel. Thank you. She shared her story of her health journey back to recovery from cancer, which was another reason why I thought that the sisterhood story and talking about it was awesome, because like you shared, it got you through a very dark time in your life. So
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Let's talk about Sister Circle. Do you want to give where the audience can find Sister Circle?
Oh, okay, yeah. So again, we're at what is it? NCM Nina Crump, CRUMP Ministries.org. And so you can search for that on Nina Crump Ministries on Facebook or YouTube. And she does it we do it every Saturday morning live on Facebook Live. And then it's always there. You can find it on YouTube. So you can go back and listen to and watch all of the prior. This is our second year. So
Yeah.
you can go back and watch. Yes, we're having had our second year anniversary and go back and watch, excuse me, all of the segments. And every segment is different because every week people talk about all different things. So
So
again,
if you,
mhm.
oh, I was going to say, if you guys are interested in following Sister Circle, go over and check that out on YouTube and Facebook, Nina Crump Ministries, NCM Ministries.
NCM Nina Nina Crump CRUMP Ministries.org. And
Okay.
and then I guess my Facebook, I guess, ask Miss Lisa. I don't know anything about that Instagram and all that other stuff. I'm new to the social media, but they can find it on the YouTube or on Facebook.
So thank you again for sharing your time with me.
Oh,
Before
that's
I close out again, thank you guys for tuning in to the Girl Get Up podcast. Again, I am the creator of the Infinite Dreamers program. It's a workforce curriculum for youth ages 16 to 25 based off my career strategies for success and my career strategies for the Infinite Dreamer workbooks. If you are interested in the program or any of the workbooks, go over to my website, www.yourinfinitedirection.com. And before I let you guys go, thank you for hanging in there with me and to believe in your infinite possibility. Go out and pursue the things you thought were never possible for yourself. And with that, take care, everybody.
Thank you.